You know, the greatest gift you can give your child is not something they cry for in the toy store, but something they slowly become over time. Let me explain. Long before a child understands language, rules, or expectations, their brain is already forming the foundation for who they will be. Imagine a young child sitting on the floor with nothing but a few everyday objects nearby. No flashing lights, no talking toys, no instructions. Just time, space, and a quiet environment. To an adult, it may look unproductive or even boring. But to the brain, this is the most fertile ground for growth. In these moments, curiosity awakens, imagination takes the lead, and problem-solving skills begin to develop almost effortlessly. This is why presence matters more than products. A child does not need a complicated setup or an expensive toy to learn. They need a parent or caregiver who observes, smiles, and sometimes simply sits nearby, quietly letting them explore. For example, a child using a wooden spoon to stir in an empty pot is not just playing. They are experimenting with cause and effect, testing limits, and learning patience. Every time a child is allowed to explore without being told exactly what to do, they learn something profound. Their mind has the power to create, to imagine, and to figure things out independently. For parents, this is a reminder that less can truly be more. You don't need to structure every minute of their day. You don't need to entertain them constantly. What matters most is that your child has time, space, and your calm, supportive presence. Because this combination nurtures a confident, curious, and resilient brain. Before knowing what really matters, you really need to understand how brain works before age 5. How the brain learns before age 5. Long before electronic toys and structured programs, children learned by engaging directly with the world around them. They turned ordinary objects into extraordinary tools. Sticks became swords, blankets became forts, and kitchen spoons became instruments. This wasn't random play, it was learning at its most natural. Neuroscience confirms that between birth and age 5, the brain forms over 1 million neural connections per second, making this period the most critical for cognitive, social, and emotional development. Open-ended play allows the brain to create and strengthen neural pathways in ways that structured or pre-programmed toys cannot. Research in developmental psychology shows that when children engage in self-directed, imaginative play, they develop crucial executive functions, skills like planning, problem-solving, impulse control, and flexible thinking. For example, a child stacking blocks in an unconventional way is practicing trial-and-error reasoning and spatial awareness. When a parent observes quietly rather than correcting, the child's brain receives a powerful message. It's safe to experiment, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Studies by scholars like Lev Vygotsky highlight that such exploratory play is key to developing higher-order thinking, because the child is actively constructing knowledge rather than passively receiving it. Parents can support this process without interfering. Give children opportunities to manipulate objects, explore textures, or experiment with water and sand. Encourage curiosity with open-ended questions like, "What can you make with this?" instead of, "Do it this way." Even small moments, mixing ingredients in a bowl, stacking cups, or building with recycled boxes, provide the brain with vital practice in problem-solving, cause and effect thinking, and creativity. The key is freedom within a safe environment, combined with a calm, observant presence. This is how the foundation of independent thinking, emotional regulation, and lifelong learning is built, long before formal education ever begins. If you really understood how your baby's brain works on the back end, leave us a like. what matters more than toys. Children do not need perfectly organized playrooms or expensive educational toys to thrive. What they need most is space to move, time to explore, and objects that invite imagination rather than dictate it. Everyday items like cardboard boxes, scarves, wooden spoons, paper, or even kitchen containers can become powerful tools for learning because they carry no instructions or limits. In fact, a 2017 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that children engaged with open-ended materials, objects without predefined use, showed higher creativity, problem-solving skills, and divergent thinking compared to children playing with pre-designed toys. Parents often underestimate the power of ordinary objects, but the simplest tools can spark the most complex learning. Boredom is another underrated ingredient in healthy development. Many parents feel guilty when a child says, "I'm bored," and rush to fill the silence with a tablet or a new toy. But boredom is the brain's signal that it needs space to invent. Psychologists like Dr. Patricia Greenfield have observed that unstructured time is essential for imaginative play, which in turn builds executive function, the very skills that allow children to focus, plan, and regulate their emotions. When a child experiments with blocks, turns a blanket into a tent, or creates a restaurant from household items, their brain is practicing creative thinking and planning. Parents can encourage this by resisting the urge to intervene immediately, allowing the child to work through ideas independently. Trust is equally critical. Every time a child struggles with a small challenge, like pouring water into a cup, tying shoelaces, or stacking uneven blocks, they are learning persistence, concentration, and self-efficacy. Psychiatrist and developmental researcher Dr. Peter Gray emphasizes that safe, self-directed struggle is fundamental for resilience. Parents often feel compelled to step in and solve the problem. But when they pause and allow the child to try, fail, and try again, they are teaching the child a vital lesson: that they are capable of figuring things out on their own. Even minor daily challenges, handled without rescue, accumulate into confidence and self-reliance over time. Presence, more than performance, is another crucial factor. Children do not need constant entertainment or instruction. They need emotional safety. Simply sitting nearby, observing, smiling, and occasionally interacting when invited, sends a message that their environment is secure. Research in developmental psychology shows that a calm and responsive presence from a caregiver regulates a child's nervous system and fosters secure attachment. For example, a parent quietly watching a child experiment with water and cups is providing exactly what the child needs: emotional security paired with freedom to explore. It is this combination that forms the foundation for focus, creativity, and social-emotional intelligence. Finally, parents can combine these insights into small, practical strategies that transform everyday moments into brain-building experiences. Rotate toys instead of giving everything at once, so the child learns patience and attention. Introduce simple household items into play to encourage open-ended creativity. Step back during struggles, offering guidance only if truly necessary. Most importantly, provide time and space where boredom is allowed, and presence is prioritized over performance. By doing this consistently, parents are not just entertaining their child, they are cultivating resilience, imagination, and problem-solving abilities that will last a lifetime. In short, the most powerful childhood experiences are often the simplest: free, trusted, and observed with love. I know you understood what matters more than toys, but what comes next is more dangerous. But before moving further, leave a subscribe so that I must get monetized ASAP. Why too much hurts your child's brain. What if many of the struggles we see today, short attention spans, frustration, emotional outbursts, are not signs of poor parenting, but signs of overstimulation? Too many toys, too many choices, too much adult direction, and not enough time to process. As a child psychologist, I want to say this clearly. Buying toys comes from love, but love does not mean constant stimulation. Below the age of 5, the brain does not benefit from being entertained all the time. It benefits from learning how to engage with the world without constant input. A simple example: a room with 10 toys often produces less focus than a room with 2. When everything is available, nothing holds attention. Parents can help by rotating toys instead of offering everything at once, and by resisting the urge to introduce something new the moment a child loses interest. Learning to stay with an idea is a skill, and skills need practice.